Right.
Dit deur is basies vir om te kan hoor wat die viewers dan kan doen.
Ja, hier is maar net om Bodybuilding is a sport we think we know a lot about until you attend an event. The difference between the highlights you see on TV and what actually happens are eye-opening. So if that is so different, how much of our perceptions are flawed as well? These are real people, they only look better, so we had a look at what an event looked like. Here are all the divisions. You didn't know about them either, did you? Welcome to the Bloemfontein Classic 2022. Without further ado, enjoy the scenes from this year's event.
I know you're on a roll, sweet honey, let's take it real slow. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey, come and groove along. Come on.
Bodybuilding is a sport we think we know a lot about until you attend an event. The difference between the highlights you see on TV and what actually happens are eye-opening. So if that is so different, how much of our perceptions are flawed as well? These are real people, they only look better, so we had a look at what an event looked like. Here are all the divisions. You didn't know about them either, did you? Welcome to the Bloemfontein Classic 2022. Without further ado, enjoy the scenes from this year's event.
I know you're on a roll.
Bodybuilding is a sport we think we know a lot about until you
You'll see the difference now if we change. Nothing ever stays the same.
Tutorial for the pro. You invited to tutorial for the clear the program, please.
Part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait.
All three of you, just go back to the stage. Go 3 steps back. Just go back. All of you.
Bring the funk back.
Are you guys ready to see who the winner is?
Ja, né? Kom met lekker equipment hier aan. Sê kom met lekker equipment hier aan.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Cool drink. Hoe is het? Hey, lekker. Dank je.
dinner here tonight. And the first thing I'd like to say is I think the ladies look lovely tonight. I see a lot of ladies looking beautiful tonight. So the gentlemen, like we always do, thank you. There's a gentleman, give them a round of applause. Nice to have all the various people here tonight, the heads of the engaging in a special evening with us all here tonight. And I just want to welcome everybody, our VIP guests, and we'll be finding out a little bit later who they are. Thank you to Edward as well for getting me here tonight, and to the Bar Hotel that is hosting us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running a little bit behind time, as we say, a little bit in the Free State, but that's fine. A little bit is always good. So yeah, a little bit. So that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, to do the opening and welcome here tonight, the FSSC President, Mr. Seboko, I'd like to welcome him to the table tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Greetings, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And let me thank you, Program Director, for this opportunity just given to me, and welcoming everybody here. And I would have noticed, indicated by our attendance register, we've got Water here, we've got St. Lake here, we've got Salga, we've got Old Mutua, smartly dressed, I saw them. We've got Itau, we've got the gambling board, we've got our athletes here as well. I'm not going to make mention of any name. Athletes are here, noted, some coaches. They are also here present. Coaches and parents, I would want to believe, media, legends. Ladies and gentlemen, may I welcome all of you here this evening. I strongly believe you are going to enjoy the evening. Not only the meals, but the entire evening. And I would wish to extend a special welcome from the department, represented by the HOD present here in Thamae. She's with the chief director as well around here. Tlhakudi, you're welcome, Boma. Okay, Honorable President, Dr. Lucas Matobako, who has been in this game from way back. Special welcome to you as well. Special welcome, I wish to say, the president of SASCOC. I'm not sure whether you knew he's in the house. Dr. Hendriks. Welcome. He's going to address us at some point. And we engaged him within a short space of time. And he said, I'll be there. Dr. Hendriks, as always, welcome. Thank you very much for making time. Everybody, enjoy your evening. I hope I didn't leave out anybody except my colleagues. You're also welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as colleagues. I see Ramela and the other colleagues who are here. Welcome to each one of you. Dr. Saunderson asked me not to take long, so I'm not going to relate in this story. Thank you very much.
I think that was a special request in the video, and I think it just shows that never give up, and we always have courage. And I think this was at the Olympic Games. And that's his father that comes and helps him over the line when he pulled his hamstring. Yeah, so that was, I think we've all seen that before. It was really, really inspiring as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now call up a word of support from the SACR Acting HOD, Thamae. If you please come up and join me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Program Director. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and let me acknowledge the presence of the President of SASCOC, Mr. Hendriks. It's always nice to be in your company. We come a long way Let me also acknowledge the Honorary President, Mr. Lucas Matobako, Sheikhs. Let me also acknowledge the President of the Free State Sports Confederation and your entire board. And let me also acknowledge the Chief Director for the Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Mayor Kuwano, Tlhakudi. Let me also acknowledge all the distinguished guests, the potential sponsors that have been mentioned here, the federations that are here, the players, the staff that has organized this event, media, and all protocol observed. Good evening. In most cases, more especially now that we are during the times of COVID, and we put on our masks where it's necessary. Thank God that now we're seeing the difference of this COVID. It's a little bit mild now. And I'm looking when we're wearing these masks and the elastic band threads our ears, and you look like your ear now is like a satellite dish. But we're gonna overcome that. That was on a lighter note. We're gonna overcome that. I can see that the flashing lights. The president was saying from SASCOC, he was in France last week. And we appreciate the fact that you are here now with us. And I don't think you are carrying any monkeypox with you. We would like to be protected by God on that one as well. These two shall pass. President Shuping, Seboko, let me first apologize for the MEC who could not be with us tonight. The MEC was admitted in the hospital last week. So then the next in line will be the acting head of department. So I apologize on her behalf. Now, the department is saying, because we are faced with challenges of people bringing the proposals to the department and assuming that whatever proposal that they bring to the department, it shall be considered. I think it's a platform like this that will make people understand the challenges that government is facing. And the Free State Sports Confederation cannot only depend on government, especially the Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation. They cannot always depend. Yes, they are the entity of the department. That is Seboko. I know the challenges that we're facing with regards to funding. We were talking about it even this afternoon. It pains my heart when we are not in a position to support our athletes, to support our federations when they come and going to international level and compete. And the parents would be thinking that government does not want to support our kids. And they don't know the struggles that we are facing as well in terms of education. And as government, we can't even go to Lotto and request funding on behalf of our federations and teams and athletes and individuals. The Department of Sport is facing those challenges. That is the second least funded department, whether it's national or it's provincial. We get the minimum because we are told we're not rendering basic services like your housing, your health, your education. So they give us minimum allocation. COVID came our way. Nobody knew. We were not expecting it. Nobody budgeted for PPEs and all of that. Now, when they have to avail funds for those, they come to the Department of Sport and they take money for that mandate. Something now recently, our minister was on news for a flag. And I said, wow, we could have been there with our minister so that we can inform our people about our heritage. It was not just going to be a flag. It's a monument. Not the way it has been taken out of context. It's his department's core function to look to museums and heritage of our country. It's a separate funding at all. It's got nothing to do with the roads and the hospitals because it's not his mandate. His mandate is exactly that. But perhaps the timing was not appropriate when people are coming from COVID and all of that. But it's his core function, our heritage. We cannot shy away from our heritage and where we come from and who we are. We cannot shy away. Now, President, as and when our athletes want to go overseas, we have structures in place. I often inform people that if you are an athlete and then you think that by osmosis you will just see yourself going and compete in the Olympics without following the proper channels of affiliation and belong somewhere, it's not going to happen. You must belong in a structure. In a federation, the federation belongs to a structure. In a structured way in sport. You cannot just take anyone and parachute without going through these structures. But you know what is happening now? People are making money using sport. They are enticing our kids to say, I can open doors for you and take you overseas. There's a rugby that is going now in December. And we're getting all those complaints from parents. It's 44,000 per kid. 44,000 that the kids don't even pay for school fees. But the trip going overseas is 44,000. And do you know why is it 44,000? It's because the money for the organizers, their flights and accommodation, all those logistics, it's inclusive. You're paying for them. so that they can go and visit their chomis. And our kids don't know that. And our parents, they don't know that. They see as a platform. People are excited, my kid is going overseas. And they go there, they play with a local club. There is not even one person that is gonna come and scout for talent. It will be here and there, but most of them, they are saying, we're taking our kids, we want to expose them to the international standards. This is what is happening. And parents, because they cannot afford this, the schools are saying, the school cannot pay for you. It's not the school that is going there. You as an individual, you are going under the auspices of this organization. Then they start knocking through to the department's door, through to the structure's door. And because we don't have sufficient funds, you start by explaining this is not a scheduled tournament of the department. Therefore, we cannot support it because even the scheduled one, we still struggle to make ends meet. And people don't know that. In February, Tlhakudi will tell you, we received a proposal for taking kids to Italy, a soccer team. It was amounting to 800-something thousand. And the directorate, the unit that this funding is supposedly to be coming from, they are having 600,000 for the entire year. And we are expected, people have hopes that we come into the department and they will be in a position to assist us. I am glad that I see potential sponsors because government alone cannot. Government alone cannot do it. We are trying to make people dependent. Started with the grants. It's grants, 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 grants. RDP, the house is broken. They expect government to come and fix it. Is that the society that we wish to have? It cannot. I'm very happy when potential sponsors are here, so that it's in a collaborated manner that we can do. If you are in a position to buy a team attire, the other one will be in a position to pay for flights, and the other one will be in a position to pay for accommodation. And then together, we can do more. But if we expect everything and we are saying, then we can't do things on our own. We will always be dependent on government. I want to assure you that as long as we are having 100 rands, we will always share the 20 rands with Free State Sports Confederation because it is a necessity. The grants that we are having each and every year, it's reduced, it's reduced, it's reduced. This is what is happening. But the little that we have, we will always share with our entities because we know the bigger picture. Our athletes, our federations, the ones that are in a structured manner, they depend on the entity and the sponsors. So the sponsors that are here, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Itau, Old Mushwa, Bloom water. This is what I had. Saintly. I'm very happy that you are here because our athletes, they need support. They need support. If you go to KZN, you go to Gauteng, their funding is not the same as the one of the Free State. They having millions and millions. They having sponsors because this head office are situated in the Joburg and Cape Town and Durban. There's no head office in the Free State. And we are expected to perform the same, like people who are having money. The entity, you as a structure, you cannot do it alone. You need people to collaborate with you, and then we can go forward. Let us help and assist one another. But the 20 rand from the hammer will always come to the entity. You are faced with a challenge that for the past 2 years, there was no activity. There was no activity. People are not fit enough, so they need to go to that incubation, higher performance, your academy, and all of that, so that they are prepared and adequately so. Those services are for free for our athletes, and they've been enabled by the department. But if we hold hands with the sponsors, at least we can do more for our athletes. But we must just be mindful of the people that are parasite, that are taking chances and say we're organizing these tournaments that are not scheduled, that are privately owned, and put parents in pressure of money that they don't have. Do you know what happens to a child that whose hopes I'm going overseas and my parents cannot afford this? Do you know what it does to a child? They can even commit suicide because those hopes, the child was mindful and hopeful, I'm going overseas. And they will come to the department and the department says, unfortunately, we are not in a position to assist you. So on behalf of the department, we are saying this is a good thing. We are taking the right direction. What happens at SASCOC at a national level? It's supposed to be happening here as well. Please, President Hendriks, the sponsors that we are having, that side, please try whatever that you have, try and allocate some to the Free State. We will really appreciate that. Some sponsors, just channel them to our way so that our federation teams and individual athletes can also benefit. I know there's a lineup at national, but there's no lineup of sponsors coming towards the Free State. With those few words, I would like to say, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matobako. It's nice to, you mentioned that the gaming and liquor board is here. So I can actually say that we can open the bottles of wine, so we're safe. All right, so as long as you guys are here, that we can open the bottles of wine. So you're putting your head down now, eh? There we go. We're going to take a photo of you and put it next to our wine. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now call up the SASCOC President, Mr. Barry Hendriks.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. How are you? It's good to see that there's a complete different sort of vibe. Youngsters over there, gambling board over there. And you see for mutual ease, the Free State Sports Confederation and government here. Why are we here? We are here to turn things around. We're here to make things change. We are here to make a difference. And the reason why we're here, this is the first time ever that a provincial sports confederation has had such an engagement with Congress. So to do my homework first, we welcome the HOD, the Chief Director, the presidents, the dignitaries from various business environments, the athletes, and everyone else that I'm going to miss. Why are you here? Because the Free State Sports Confederation is important for you to be here. So thanks for coming here. Now, why am I here? The Free State Sports Confederation thought that it was important that I speak here. And hopefully the words that I'm going to use and say are going to impart some knowledge and some wisdom over to you so that you can see that one can go from point A to point B, point C, point D, and develop along those stepping stones when it comes to partner engagements, not necessarily sponsorship engagement. So there's a few things I'm going to go through that we've learned at SASCOC. When I became the president of SASCOC, we had no sponsors. That's only 2 years ago. In fact, 1.5 years ago. No sponsors. The name of the South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee was in the trash. Every week in the Sunday Times, there were some bad stories about the organization. And we had to be fighting for survival. So how did we try and change that? And by the way, I was also the president. To give you a history. At the age of 18, I was the club secretary. Then afterwards, I went to Rhodes University, became part of the Black Shirt movement, president of the tennis structure there. We developed tennis and squash, volleyball, and then I became involved as a teacher in school sport for 7 years, and then became president of the Eastern Province Squash Federation. Then got asked to become the head of education and training at the National Sports Council in 1996. And then afterwards left to form my own business as a consultant to do strategic planning and then training. And then afterwards became the president of the Gauteng Squash South Africa, then the Gauteng Sports Confederation. And that's where I met all these wonderful young men and gentlemen as part of the Gauteng Sports Confederation. And then 1.5 years ago, president of SASCOC. Now, why am I here? I'm here to show you that there is going to be a benefit, and there has to be a benefit for the engagement of partners in sport. But I need you to just look at this little background here to understand what the Free State Sports Confederation does. So I'm going to go here. So it has several commissions. In other words, several work streams. So it has a stakeholder and membership commission. It has a legal and constitutional commission. It has a bidding and hosting commission. It has a gender commission. Women are critical and gender is important. It has a brand, marketing and commercialization communication commission, and this ties in with what you're doing this evening. It has an athletes commission. We're supposed to have an athlete representative serving on the board of the Free State Sports Confederation. It has a medical commission, a finance commission to show you that they are handling their finances properly, and the people that serve on that finance commission are supposed to be independent people from the finance world. And then we have a transformation commission. And if you look at me, you'd say, but you look like you don't look like a man from township. No, I come from the kind of township in Calvin. So I know what they're talking about. Then color and emblem, they are responsible for the Free State colors. Very, very important. A disability commission and a teachers commission. So that tells you, gives you an idea about the work that they do. And when they come to you and ask you for money, you've got to understand that this is all that they do. They don't just sit there around the table and say, we're going to now have a tournament, we're going to send a team. No. They have a responsibility to transform society in the Free State. And that's what they're doing. They're transforming society. One of the social cohesion goals, bring communities together, transform them for the better. So, let me just go through some of the things that we've learned at SASCOC. One, change your brand. People want to associate with good things, not negative things. So what are the good things that Free State Sports Confederation has? They've got colors. They've got access to all top athletes in the Free State across 89 different codes of sport. 89. From sheep shearing, and you've got world champions here in Free State, from sheep shearing to tug of war to the very good ones like athletics, tennis, football, rugby. So they have that wealth and they own Team Free State. No one owns Team Free State. Just like SASCOC owns Team South Africa. You own Team Free State. You own Team Cheetahs. Not just rugby cheetahs, tennis cheetahs, football cheetahs. You own Team Cheetahs. And that is what sponsors must know. And what funders must know. That they're the only organization in the whole of the Free State that owns Team Free State. Just like SASCOC, South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee is the only organization that owns Team South Africa. And with Team South Africa we have, who is our gold swimmer in the Olympics? Tatiana Schumacher. Who is our 100-meter guy that didn't make it? Akani Sabine. We've got now 2 young swimmers coming through. That's really performing well. We've got rugby sevens, we've got football women, we've got football rugby women. They're all coming through. Now, what we do at national level, you've got to emulate at provincial level. You've got to be so proud of Team Free State. And you've got to put them on social media and make sure that the people here and the businesses here feel so proud of them. That they want to become part of Free State Sports Confederation. By the way, so South African Sports Confederation, Olympic and Paralympic Committee is going to change its name. We're going to be called Sports South Africa. Sports SA. So we're moving away from that old long name to a new, young, vibrant name. Sport SA. Now let me just talk about some of the income streams, potential income streams that are open to this organization. One, from government, national government, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, and they get 2% of the DORA grant. Now the DORA means Division of Revenue Act. So you get 2%. So HOD, it's not 20 rand. It's 20 cents. So we need to change that. We need to change that to make it higher. Before it was 50, but it was 5%, and then it reduced to 20, to 2%, to 3%, then 2%. We've got that, okay? But at least that serves their administration grant. Then there's the Department of correctional services, I don't know whether you know that they have a sports council. And they have facilities and they have sports programs. The Department of Tourism has programs. So it's about time you start creating partnerships with them as well at those levels, which we are doing. Can you imagine all those facilities and correctional services and tourism and health, etc.? We must become, and police services and Department of Defense, we must become part of it. And as you go out of Nelson Mandela, huge facilities there. That must be sports facilities. Provincial government, Department of Arts and Culture, tourism, health and education must become part of this package that you're going to present. From SASCOC, what can we offer you? We can offer you IOC funding, Olympic Solidarity funding to the tune of over 10 million rand a year. But nobody applies for it. Why? Because nobody knows about it. So we need to make you aware of the funding so that you can apply for it. For athletes, for administrators, for coaches, athletes, I'm going to say again, athletes. There's an athlete development program. You've got to make sure that you go onto that website, find out about all these things that they are. SASCOC is turning its page around. We're going to put a permanent staff member in place just for funding. Preset, I recommend you do the same thing. Get a sports administrator together with one of your interns solely to look at funding. Okay? And then move from there. Commonwealth Games Federation funding. Currently, SASCOC is receiving £6,000 for a project that's taking place in Khayelitsha. We want the project to take place in Preset and Chief Director. Make us aware of the needs and your assistance. National Lotteries Commission. I'm coming to you, Gavin Board, I'm coming to you. National Lotteries Commission. For some strange reason, they don't support provincial sports confederations. And we are working now with Minister Patel and Minister Muketo to change that policy. It is just ridiculous. Here you have an umbrella body for sport in the province, and they're not receiving a cent from National Lotteries. We're moving on that. Provincial Gambling Board. Okay. Do you know that Gauteng, over the last 5 years, received over 10 million rand from the Gauteng Gambling Board for various projects, facility development, education and training, and the last program is 5 multi-purpose courts in schools that the NEC signed up. I think to the tune of 10 million rand alone. Now you need to sit down with that partner, the Free State Gambling Board, to find out what their particular goals are and what their development targets are as well. And then work together to achieve a common goal. And I'm sure there is some common ground. Am I right? Fantastic. There has to be some common ground. Okay? And then I need you to start thinking about forming your own provincial sports trust. Do not rely on the national lotteries. Form your own national provincial sports trust. Get people that business trust to serve on that foundation. And then you can make that foundation also a Section 18A, so that when businesses bring in money, they get a tax rebate from that particular foundation. A Section 18A institution, and it can also be a BEE related organization as well. Because this is what you want to do with it. You want to change society. And the majority of people that you're changing are black people. So that will tie in quite harmoniously with a provincial foundation. So in order to do that, you need to work with business. And what does business want? Business wants business. We can't run away from it. When SASCOC went to Mr. Price's court to get our clothing, they give us 11 million rand a year just to clothe Team South Africa. Just to give us the clothing. 11 million rand a year. For the Olympics, Paralympics, Commonwealth Games, and any other games that we go to. Okay? So So that's just Mr. Price. And now we're signing next month another sponsor that is going to pay for the athletes' Operation Excellence. So the athletes get an allowance every month to cover their cost of training, their rent, their travel, so that these top athletes over 3 tiers, A, B, and C, will now be able to get funding from that sponsor and take the pressure off them. So what does that do for business? It takes the mind from SASCOC off trying to accommodate the athletes and try and focus on bringing more business and partnerships on board. Partners who trust in the organization and partners who think that they can grow with you. So all this engagement that we're talking about here is about belief that a partner has, a business has, to try and associate with you. And if they believe they can grow with you, so for example, Old Mutual, with its insurance component and its finance component. And here you have access to 89 different codes of sport in the whole of the province. And that huge database of information. And that huge database of parents. Wow, that's a huge opportunity. And Vodacom, I hope you're here. Vodacom, your CSI program, the social media linkage to associate with not only the very best in the Free State, but with all the top athletes. Every top athlete in this province. That has to be some sort of a spot that says, man, I want to get involved. I want to get involved. And then you're also associating yourself with all the presidents of all the federations in the province. Every president of every federation. All the leaders under one umbrella, you have them there for all of you. Why do we do this? Because we want to change South African society. And we do it one athlete at a time, one club at a time, one federation at a time, one school at a time, and one high performance center at a time. You have all those things just associated with one organization called the Free State Sports Confederation. And what do they want from you? They want your funding to assist them in administering themselves. They don't have a CEO yet. Gauteng does have a permanent staff general secretary. That's on the same scale as a director, top scale as a director. They want project staff, they want office administration, and they want this Free State Sports House. They want coaches development, they want athletes development. They want to make sure that the Free State's Academy of Sport be successful. They want to develop every administrator in every club. And they want to have a Free State Games where all the Free State sports on occasion comes together to celebrate sport in the province. One life, one athlete, one club, one school, one federation at a time. That's what we're here for. And that is why you are here to help us achieve that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barry Hendriks. Some wise words from a gentleman that has played a lot of sport himself. See, squash, judo, tennis, so there's a gentleman that knows exactly what he is talking about as well. I'd like to now call out Mr. Andrew Fasaki from Treasury. If you please come say a couple of words to us, please. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings. the presidents of the different federations here tonight, the HOD of the Department of Sports, Chief Director, business present here, but most importantly, our athletes. Let me first start to apologize on behalf of MEC Khadija. She passed her sincere apologies to this gathering as she was invited to come and pass a word of support. She is a very young and energetic MEC who is passionate about development of young people in general. She is the same as MEC, but medically, she's not okay. We had to monitor her all day. Yesterday, we were with the deputy president and she had to leave the event. So it's only a medical reason, but she would have loved to be here. The excitement that I see in this room speaks volumes, and it speaks about the development of our athletes in the country. And it's quite heartwarming to see a controlling body taking all efforts to bring all important stakeholders together. Because the reality and the fact of the matter is that sports is an integral part of our social life. The president is quite correct to say, in order to change society and societal ills within the community, you need to uplift sport. But not only that, you need to groom the best amongst the best from the most of the rural poor areas so that they become the national and international sports athletes that they indeed are. I'm excited because this platform is not strange to me. I've served with President and others in SAFA as well. And one understands the challenges that confront sports on a day-to-day basis. And the HOD is quite correct. During budget, there are pressing priorities. And she's quite correct. Sports is always last on the list. And that's why it becomes critical for us to say, how do we then as government, private sector, and society in general come together to support our sporting bodies within society? You see, the reality is that the word of encouragement that we should put out to business is that associate yourself with winners, because that will do good for your corporate identity. Yes. Sign endorsement deals, that's not only going to build your brand, but also the future of those athletes. And I think we must actually put it out there to business to say, let's look at who comes first to the table and endorse some of the best athletes from the place they're coming from, the most rural of areas. Because the benefits to business are multi-pronged. Except, as President has said, the tax benefits. There are benefits within all of this for your own brand as well. So, at the end of the day, we need to inculcate an understanding of the importance of sport. Not only does it bring up the best of talents within our society, but it also has a psychological effect on the human mind, the human body. And there are traits of leadership embedded within sport because of the high levels of discipline that comes with the different sporting codes that we have. And that's why we need to understand, to say together as government and private sector, we've got a responsibility. Our humble plea is to say, let's all come to the table, hands together, come with concerted efforts, but importantly, and I know that's the fear of private investors in capital. You don't want to invest your money and don't get an account for it. And that's why the sporting bodies, so that we avoid
individual sponsors that goes unaccounted for. And that's why we must also encourage the different sporting associations and federations to affiliate so that we have a proper and a single window of coordination. Because with coordinated efforts and coordinated programs, we will be able to take this vision forward. So thank you so much, Program Director, and I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to call up our lifetime honorary president, Mr. Matobako.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm trying to use my teacher's voice. Pardon me, Program Director and the teacher. So please, if you have to come and remove me there, I would have said a lot. Program Director, thank you so much. May I also follow the protocol? HOD, acting HOD as well. The President of SASCOC, Hendriks, Kuwano, our Chief Director. I'm saying our Chief Director, I want to say Chief Director. Shuping, distinguished guests, media, federations, representatives who are there. Mine is to come and give the people's work why we are here. But there are three people who came, before I can say anything. They just tell everybody why we are here. And I could not stop them. Hey, that's my item. President of FSSC, Mayor HOD, we have done. I don't want to stop anything. Really, you have said what I'm supposed to say. But there are benefits that you get from our events. We have different events here in Free State. And our department, which is our big supporter, we have sponsored our children. We need somebody to say, hello, Vicky. We call me All Mutual. He gave me the name of All Mutual. So I'm not sure where the people come from. I'm your child. So they call me All Mutual. So we need people to say, we need sports awards. And sports awards, I'm talking about provincial. But we're intending to have sports awards through the Sports Confederation at the district and metro. President talked about the provincial games, and then Sanga is here. What is happening in KZN on Aloha Games? I'm sure there are more than 20 children. Where HOD, we are saying if we get support, why can't we revive the SA Games? For some of our athletes haven't been able to compete, but as SA Games are again going to offer support. So I was just making aware the guests who are here. We have also the district sports confederations. We have the local sports confederations. So we need your support. And I hope you've seen that video clip. And maybe when you are sitting, you thought, now they show us the old stories. But if we have to interpret it, analyze it, what we are saying about video clip, to get to the goal, we need who? The support. You saw that athlete, that runner. He could not reach there, but he got there support. It's what we are saying is state sports confederation. We need somebody to want to reach that goal. What we need from it is. On that note, colleagues and ladies and gentlemen, really I don't want to waste your night because I don't want to repeat what has been said here. But let me remind you, for us to achieve, we need each other. And through us, and together with you, we'll achieve more. Remember what our icon said, Nelson Mandela. Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to let people in the way that nothing else can. Sport can awaken hope where they were previously only despair. So with your support, we'll be able to make sure that we achieve what the icon said. On that note, I just want to say we need your support. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you to Old Mutual. I enjoyed that one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call up the Acting General Secretary of the FSSC, Mr. Edwin Saunderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the youth league is in the house. With all the formalities, all the over 60s, all the legends, all the masters, and now we with the youth. So I hope you guys are awake. I'm going to step from the stage. It's a little bit too old for me. I am here to start playing sport. I tried my 6-cap t-shirt and unfortunately was just a little bit too long. Ladies and gentlemen, my role tonight was already addressed by, unfortunately, by Mr. Berry. He did what I was supposed to do. Thank you for that. We'll save a little bit of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we get a little bit of music? Show me. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. I'm going to give you a brief background of the Sports Confederation. just so that you guys understand why we're here, where we're going to. And guess what? We are not here tonight to ask you to give us any money for free. We want to present to you a reason why you should partner with us. It is in your best interest to partner with the Sports Confederation. The Sports Confederation is here to make you as business money. Politicians, government departments, we can help you. We can take you to the people. We play sport in the urban areas. We play sport in the township. We in the water. We in your swimming pool. We just everywhere. And I just want to say, lady from Belvo, the way you smile, thank you for the 2 vehicles. We appreciate. I'll come and get the keys tomorrow. Let me get straight into it. Just a brief background of from where we come from. I'm going to try and speed it up. I'm young. I'm not supposed to talk long. Okay. Just quickly taking you through the background. We established on the 4th of December, 2005. 2009. 2009, I almost stole a term from elsewhere. So there was a fragmentation in the sport, and we needed to unite people through all the colors and all the rainbows, all the waters, everywhere. So that policy of racial discrimination and apartheid based on the ideology of white supremacy over people of color created a situation of independence existing of various sports organizations against the wishes of the majority of the sports family in the province. So there was a realization, the urgent need to fulfill the historic task of unifying different sporting organizations in preparation for united democratic indivisible and a non-racial South Africa. I hope you guys heard that there's a young man behind me that's helping me out. Yeah. The next would be the Sports Confederation and the SASCOC thing. There's some of the slides that I'm quickly going to skip because we need to get to, we said it's an engagement dinner. We don't want to miss the dinner. So what we basically say is that SASCOC is here. We are here because of SASCOC, or we can say SASCOC is here because of us. Either way. So all federations, local, district, municipality, sports confederation, tertiary, school, disability, sport bodies fall under the umbrella of the Free State Sports Confederation. I hope you guys are listening. What we are saying is that we control everything. We in your houses, we in your businesses, we everywhere. So you guys have a vested interest in partnering with us. Okay, so quickly the district, you guys all know the districts. I'm going to skip through it. Just remember, President, you in the Mangaung Metro municipal area. That is all that we need to understand tonight. You all know the rest. Okay, our vision to be the best provincial confederation that transforms, develops, and promotes sport to its maximum potential at all levels. So whatever you can think of. Our mission as the umbrella body for sport in the Free State, the Free State Sports Confederation mission is to create a structured, enabling environment with its members and stakeholders. Members and stakeholders. You guys also here, you stakeholders. So transform and develop sport again at all levels. We're moving from town to the rural areas, to the township. You can just decide where you want us to go. Develop and support its members and sports people. And then our core value is right at the bottom, because people like to judge us on integrity and all these things. So we put it at the bottom, but hold us accountable to be transparent, to be professional, innovative, inclusive. But please, trust us. We want to take sport to the next level. You must trust us. Just to show that we're clever, we've just put legislative frameworks in there. There we go. We skip right past it. You will see where we come from, towns, municipalities, right up to the IOC. So we understand where we are. Don't fall at any given stage think that we don't know where we fall. We fall right there in the middle at the 9 provincial sports confederations. Okay, we have the different commissions. Again, I'm going to skip. SASCOC president went through the commissions already. There we are. There's the executive people. We have paid administrators. We have people that earn money. Some of us don't. Unfortunately not. We volunteers, but we work as hard. The next one is, why do we exist? There's just some that are highlighted in bold. Building good relations with stakeholders. Very important. We're here to build a relationship with all the people. We've given our people names. You know, like the old mutuals, we'll come to the Volvos. You know, I am probably the Volvo because I'm the youngest. So we acquire. You see, as one of our aim, we acquire sponsorship and resources and market the organization. When we market the organization, we market all of you. You all have children that's taking part in sport, be it chess, be it wrestling, be it boxing, be it athletics. We all here ensure adequate funding and resources again, and manage the bidding and hosting of major events in the Free State, so that all of you can go and look at the events, go and support it. It's very important. If we have money, we can start bring these events. We're in the center of South Africa. Mr. SASCOC President, please, we're in the middle of South Africa. We need you to use your influence so that events can come from the Free State. You can only build from the center. Let's go from here. Then, just quickly, our stakeholders, I'm quickly going to run through that, and President will see some of the things that we've mentioned. There's our clients, all of them. Please, Old Mutual, you guys are going to be in our office on Monday so that we can start ensuring our athletes, especially against injury. Yes. So it's very important. You have a role to play. Then, please, let's bring the cars to Bobo, please. I know I put you, Mr. Visafi. You cannot leave tonight. You cannot leave here without a commitment. The Treasury will look after us. And I know that MEC sent you here with a checkbook. Don't disappoint us. There's our external opportunities. You see right at the beginning, it's not possible government to increase funding. Make it good. We're depending on you guys. Develop by the partnership with stakeholders and sponsors. Please let us bring in the money. If you can't, go find somebody that can bring us the money. Go to your national offices. Let's get the money. Saga, let's come on board. Let's support the municipalities. Let's bring in the money. Okay. Then, what is our goals and objective? Create sport structures in the province that will lead to the growth of sport. support members to transform and build capacity and capability, to implement good governance and management, to develop the sport federation brand and improve commercialization and communication, support athletes, administrators, coaches, technical officials to reach their full potential. We need Free State referees, officials to be at national tournaments, international tournaments. Leadership with good governance, transparency, accountability, and the big word again, ethics. Develop sport and sports confederation awareness. This is what we started with. We want everybody, where is the camera? We want everybody in the Free State to know that there is a Free State Sports Confederation. That is the mother body and that is responsible for sport at all levels. Even at grassroots level, schools level, provincial level, national level, and we'll introduce to you our top athletes a little bit later. Transform the membership by focusing on women, culture, youth, demographics, disabilities, and that big word, rural development. Because at some stage, most of us came from the rural areas. Okay, so quickly, our corporate structure, I'm going to run right through it. We just want you to understand how we fit in. General Assembly tells us what to do. The executive would then be acting on that, and then the different structures that is serving us. You'll see right in the corners where vacancies, we don't have money to pay for these people. So we want you guys, President from SASCOC, there's nothing wrong with you sponsoring one of their positions. There's just the streams of possible funding that we can get, and then there's our executive. There we are, all of us. Just a quick look, and you'll see who is responsible for all the 12 commissions that we have in the Sports Confederation. Right there at the top, you will see I'm also featuring somewhere. Okay, so that is why this is actually the only slide that I wanted to do, but then President felt that I should do other things, and as a responsible young man, I listened to him. So sports is a well-known brand in the community with endless reach. Now we want you guys to support us so that we can support you, so that you can bring in the millions. We will take your reach to wherever you guys want us to go. We have structures everywhere. We have town structures, sometimes even ward structures, town structures, municipal structures. We have district structures, and then the provincial one. This one is not that important on top. The ones down there is the ones that's important. So that's why we have partnering with the Sports Confederation would be part of your social responsibility to our communities. So it's very important that you guys. President, there is our membership. Now, just quickly think about it. We have multiple federations, multiple structures. Now, just imagine if each of them have about, let's just say they have about 10,000. Let's just use 10,000. Then, and there's about so many structures that we have. We have a list of all these people doing sport up to all the schools. If you partner with us, we take your brand to all these people. Just think about it. You don't have to spend millions. If you network, like President already mentioned, if you Vodacom or MTN or Telcom or a whatever network shall see MTN partner with us. We will help you to get your 10 rand data or your 10 rand airtime promotions where nobody else can take you. We'll take you there through our network. You just click a button and all of that will go boom. Let me do it again. Boom. To all our members. So that is what we want to. So we're not here to plead with you guys. It's in your best interest. Dr. Kuhn, don't you agree with me? I shared with Dr. Kuhn, I said to him, I want to be faster, he must help me. Because he's a doctor for athletes. He unfortunately couldn't help me, but doctor, what we can do is, in partnering with us, we will market and showcase your products. Our social media platform, you guys, if you just look, there's more camera people here in the room than business people. They're all over. They're taking your message all over the place. And that is what we can provide you with. We have a very active Facebook page where we get your product, you give it to us, and we send it throughout. So the Sports Confederation is a very, very busy main street. We go where everywhere. The Sports Confederation can provide opportunities for you to promote your organization, athletes, parents, families, everywhere. We there. Sports Confederation, we can add you to our letterheads. We can add you to our events. We can add you to our banners. Look, we have SASCOC there, we have the department. There's lots of space where we can pull on our banner. Look at that banner, we can put you everywhere in there. And you start moving on our behalf. So that's us. Very strong word to mouth marketing too. That's us. Sports Federation gives you the opportunity. I don't want you guys to jump up, all of you at once, but we give you an opportunity to come and partner with us. Please sign up with us before the end of the night, because once we hit the dinner, we close. Then your opportunity is gone. So please come, let's partner. So I've given you. We have our projects, standard projects that we have. Come and partner with us. Here's our project. We can call the department is currently our partners on the Free State Sports Award. But we can call this Free State Sports Awards maybe a Saga Sports Award. Or we can call it a Volvo or a Oak Metro. That's what we can do. The Overtambo Marathon, we can add your name to. You throw your money at us and we throw our marketing at you. That's what we do. We are a vehicle to make you guys rich. Anybody that wants to start a business, partner with us and we'll take you places. We are a vehicle for you guys to move. We have our Sports Confederation Gala dinner. We're going to sell our tables. We may sell one table for R1 million. There's very rich people in Free State. So there's gala dinner, night of the stars, where we will showcase our athletes. And then we have very nice one, our golf day. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't play golf, make sure that by the time we have the golf day, at least you know how to pick up a stick or something so that you can be a caddy or something. But you must be part of that event. You must be there. The 19th hole is where things are going to happen. Come and partner with us. We can give it your name or different names. We can give it 10 names. But come and put your name on our day. So that's our event. So ladies and gentlemen, look at that one. I'm not thanking you because I'm finished, but I'm thanking you because you've seen value in the Sports Confederation and you guys are going to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet them. I just want to, before we go and have dinner, focus on the table right there. That's our athletes. Guys, if you guys can rise, if you guys can just rise. No matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, the DJ is extremely excited. Please forgive her. Can we ask the DJ just while we look at the athletes, just standing in front of our vision so that everybody can see who's making the music? Let's start with our first lady. It's our athlete commission head, Miss Marinay Norkia. Can you just rise so that everybody can see? That's our first athlete. And we have our cheetah player, Mr. Greg Bell. Can you? Thank you. Next to him, we have a young man that's in a hurry to finish things. Lucky Moliani. Mr. Greg College Board. He is extremely fast, not as fast as me, but he's fast. Thank you, Lucky. Lucky is going to Belgium in July. And can we ask Lucky's coach just to, so that everybody can see who is. And then just next to him, we ask the father to rise. That's the G. Now he is not here because of Lucky. He is here because he is the president of the Bloemfontein Sports Confederation. Thank you, sir. Then the beautiful young lady, Natalie Landman. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's fast. Very fast. That is Natalie Landman. Natalie, thank you. And next to her is Mr. Simon. Just stand up so that everybody can see. People, a night is not complete if we do not have, and please forgive me for saying this, these are the people that we throw a lot of money at and get nothing. Can we ask the football gentleman to my apologies. Can we hear the song? The song quickly? Can we get the volume? We thank you for the entertainment. We hope that when you guys go and play in France, that you go there to play football and not to honor some of the players with selfies. Can we just get that one straight? And when I say that, I'm a football player myself. Every Sunday, I have to step so that you can see that I'm still active. Okay, so Masters football I play, I'm with you. I understand that our football is very good in entertaining us, and we need to, President, we need to talk to the guys. Our Denny or Dan is from your area. Can we please have that discussion with him? It is not nice when we go to France and They throw money at it, and the guys come back without a trophy, only a selfie. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is our athletes I update this for us. Another cheetah player. Melarato? The cheetah? Yes, we have from the office of the cheetah. So these are our people. There is our athletes. We could not invite all of them. We just invited the small group. MC, you can come closer. We almost at a place where we walk towards our dinner part. For some of us, it's the reason why we here tonight. So we at that part. So we're going to play you some video clips of these young people over there. I also just wanted to mention that I am with Natalie Landma in the Athletics Federation. There is where we come from. President, just remember when we go to the Olympics again, you know what we do in swimming? Commonwealth. It's a formality, President, without being arrogant. Without being arrogant, swimming will bring you medals. That we can guarantee you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you invest in these people when you put your money in the sports confederation. We want to develop them. There's a lady we're going to play the first clip. Her name is Shindali Simmons. She's a hockey player. She couldn't be here tonight. She's in camp. They're going to the Netherlands, they're going to Spain, and then they go to Commonwealth. Unfortunately, not all of the federations can afford to pay these athletes. So we have one player in our hockey national team that is here. We need to support these people. Like I've said, Lucky is going overseas and the rest of the athletes as well. So let us put our support with all of the athletes. Enjoy the video clip. President, while we eat, we'll play that one again and show that without your support, what happened to the athlete that got a hamstring? He trained for 4 years to go to the Olympics. He had his opportunity to run and he got an hamstring injury and he couldn't properly finish the race. We played that clip because this is exactly what's happening to us in the sports confederation. If we do not have money, we pull hamstrings, we get injuries, and we cannot finish the race. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need your support. We're going to play the clip. MC, over to you. Put your money where your mouth is. That's all that I'm asking from you guys. Support us. Thank you, guys. MC, and then we're going to go to the thank you.
I paid my dues, time after time. I've done my sentence, vision no crime. And by mistakes, I've made a few. That much I can do back. And the people know to the end. We are champions. We are taken my vow, got called, brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes like you all. But it's written on papers and let you through. My friend.
So it's actually such a privilege to be an athlete. It's such a privilege when people back you. That is the nice thing. It's so nice to see the Rainbow Nation doing well. That was fantastic. Everyone well spoken there. I think you should be more salesperson than a sales rep in part because wow. You know, the youngest, the best looking, you know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you got old Mutual and Mr. Perfect. You guys are doing very, very well. But well done there. Great job there. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd just like to also just call up, just welcome the guest here as well. May Vicky Ramela from the FSSC, she's the treasurer. Just like to welcome the guest here as well tonight. Then we'll be closing off after that, and then we can enjoy a great evening with food and all that. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. I would like to say I'm really honored. My mind tells me that when you look around, the people in the room here, you identified me as the best person suited to read all the names properly. That's why you have called me to the stage, because it's actually what you were supposed to do. And I'm not going to disappoint you. And in no particular order, as I read the names, I know that the corporates that are here would like me to read their names first, because they heard Mr. Saunderson so well, and they want to be first on the list. But let me do the honor and read the names. And these are the people who have agreed and who have confirmed their attendance for the event this evening. Some are here, and some, might not be here, and they've tendered their apologies due to other commitments. Not that this is not important, but they've cited that they will engage with us after the event. Again, in no particular order, we have corporates, Blue Water, represented by Mayor Nkahi Singh Mohlaulwan, who is the executive corporate support
Division. From Sentle, we have Mayor Seiji Tswai and Mr. Seboko Mochele. Volvo, we have Metalani Siketi, who's the marketing executive. We have Salga, represented by Mewili Kuzwayo, the acting CEO. Vodacom, represented by Mr. Mike Piri, who is the senior manager responsible for public sector, accompanied by Me Eva Ntimunye. From Old Mutual, not the Old Mutual, from the Old Mutual Corporate, we have Messi Bilwani, apologies, Mr. Sibilwani, Mr. Machaka, and Menjingo. From Itau, we have Mr. Godson Molifi, who is the Director Stakeholder Projects. From part of why we're here, why we are here, we needed people who know what dealing with special projects. We have the gambling court represented by Mr. Tsidiso Lirumo, the manager in communications. We also have the Bentley suite. The representative is not indicated, but it also says to us that they confirmed, to attending the event and pledging the support in any whatever form. And lastly, we have a builders warehouse as well, and the name is not. Other stakeholders that also confirmed. We have let's say the FM, represented by Mr. Tabang Morubani, the content producer. Blue Content 30, Mr. Mabuti Mashilwani. From the teachers, we have Mr. Kate Berry. Department of Treasury, Mr. Andrew Kusafi, who's the Chief of Staff in the Office of Health. Mangaung Sports Confederation, Mr. Tema Juna, who's the General Secretary. And other names were already mentioned. We have representatives from Aquatics, Natalie Landman. Athletics, we have Lucky Moleani. The Legion. Football, we have Mr. Lite Mukitani. Also from football, Me Mams Malatu. And from the administration, we have cricket, represented by the one and only Dade Chipa.
Ladies and gentlemen, just our last part of the evening, the Chief Director, Mayor Tlhakudi, would you please come and do your vote of thanks?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Protocol is already observed. At least we are at the end of the evening. You are too serious for my liking. Well, my job is the easiest one, so I don't really even have to talk a lot. I may not be a teacher by profession, like let's say Matobako, but talking is what makes me happy. So I would like to say you all look beautiful, handsome, relaxed. But I'm disappointed that I've not seen a single bottle of wine opened, ladies. Aside from a dinner session where you are supposed to be chilled, enjoy yourself with the sport fraternity. Okay, it's only in Jube. So relax. The baby did not bring the former LEC of sport with him. She is there, Mefe. But without wasting time, I just want to really thank everyone who was on the program here tonight. And I would like to start by thanking you, Ndate Dindri, for really taking us through the entire program. You made it very fun and interesting for us. And we even managed to hear that we have a handsome man who is a youth league member. So thank you. And to say to Seboko, the president, thank you for the welcome that you gave to all of us here. We felt welcomed, and I think you said somebody gave you instructions not to say too much, and you were really caught and wonder. So we appreciate that. To our acting head of department, Ms. Thamae, thank you for the word of support. That, ladies and gentlemen, you should know that it's important that we are able to draw a line and show you that we've got the Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, and the department has entities like your sport confederation, on the side of the arts as well, you have like your PACs. Those are very critical bodies that we need to have as government. And what you could hear when Thamae was speaking was simply to try and plead with you that as government, as a department, we are not in a position to do what you can do as private sector or as business sector. So as much as we say they are our entity and we fund them, it's really paltry. It is just for them to be able to do a little. We are not at the center of it all. If you go to Gauteng province, if you go to KZN, if you go to Eastern Cape and Western Cape, those are the provinces where they are really sitting with a lot of funding in terms of voted funds. So in government, you have what you call your voted funds and you have your conditional grant. So for both voted funds, like Thamae said, as well as conditional grant, we are really the least funded in the province. At national level, we are the second least funded. We only come before Northern Cape. So that tells you how much export we get. If you move to just the Chief Directorate Sport and Recreation, if you take away the conditional grant that we receive, you realize that the rest that we have in terms of voted funds is just to pay us. And little we have to do much for sport and recreation as a province. So we need you. We need you to understand that government cannot do it alone. So thank you, Thamae. Ndate Hendriks, thank you for showing how we align from national to provincial level. So Ndate when he sits here, he is the man responsible for sport for all the 9 provinces, all the sport confederations. He's the big boss. So if you want to align yourself with any other provinces, but I'm sure most of you as businesses,
like your old mutual, Volvo, you are a national business, isn't it? Brand. But for those who you are just in the Free State and you want to showcase who you are and be in other provinces, that really is the man for you. So we are not just limiting how you can be a brand just at a provincial level, but you can also be able through, the stakeholder relationship, be in other provinces because sport really needs you. So thank you, that day, for the guidance that you've always provided. He said earlier when he spoke that he used to do strategic planning and he also came here to assist us when we were doing our own strategic plan session. But he also took you through the process as to when was he what. It shows you that sport only survives through volunteerism. What he's doing, he's a volunteer. So it takes dedication, it takes sacrifice, it takes commitment, it takes your own resources at home to do what most people do. And sometimes marriages end, because of this commitment that people have for the love of sport. So, no, yours is still strong. So, it's important that I was just trying to highlight your sacrifice and the commitment that you started as a young boy and you are now a senior person in this fraternity. Dade Matobako, our lifetime honorary Seboko, honorary president. Thank you that you've been with us and you're still with us. Most people, when they get to where you are, they say, now I'm tired, I no longer want to be here. So we appreciate that you're still here. And if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, he was with me since this morning in a meeting. So the fact that he's still here at this time of the day tells you the commitment that goes with the volunteerism that I've just spoken about in sport. Well, I studied sport, I work in the sport field, I get paid to do it. But he volunteers. So that is something that it takes, a sacrifice. So that we appreciate that you're still with us. We still need your guidance. The Free State Sports Confederation will go far with people way, so that we groom our young men born that did so for medals, so that we can take and change the landscape of our province. Really, we appreciate that. And Nilelinda Defisafi, who spoke on behalf of the Treasury, Department of Treasury, who also represented Mayor Khadija. We would like to send well wishes while we are here to her and to appreciate while I'm talking about this, Mayor Thamae as well apologize for our NDC who's also not well. So we both really wish them well and speedy recovery. Thank you, because you also highlighted when you spoke in the DSACR the role that sport plays. That sport teaches us discipline, time management. You can check anywhere. We have, I think our minister and our FSSC, when they normally talk about it from time to time, they will say sport is structured. And you look at, because we are a Department of Sport, Arts, Culture and Nutrition. So we normally, the people that work in the department are never able to speak without speaking with the side of the artists or library services, because that's who we are. But when you look at sports, sport is structured, ladies and gentlemen. You can only take part in sport. There's a coach, we have her here. In the arts, I think it's very nice. You are an artist. So don't feel like you don't want to associate yourself with us because we've got an artistic side in us. We need you. The artists, the sport people need you both. But you must understand in sport it will always be structured. There will be a president, there will be a chairperson, there will be a referee, there will be a linesman. it is, they wear uniform, they go as a team, they know there's a code of conduct, there's ethics. So it is more about grooming and getting people. We say we start from what we call mass participation, then we identify the talent, then we nurture that talent, and then you get to a place where we are now saying you are an elite sport person. And one advantage that you should appreciate about the Free State Sport Department is that it's the only one so far that has a full-time part of the department where we are paying people. The Free State Sport Science Institute that is fully implementable or run by the Department of Sport, Arts, Culture, and Recreation. So we have your sport biokineticist, we have your dietitian, we have your sport trainers. So we have a world-class facility here where we are able to even identify an injury that a sport person has. And a program will be developed to ensure that that athlete gets rehabilitated and to be able to go back into the sporting field and play sport fully. So you as a business sector, you can say you are not throwing your money in the ditch if you align yourself with the Free State Sports Confederation and align yourself with the athletes that are here. They have access to the best of the best sport practitioners in the Department of Sport, Arts, Culture, and Recreation, who are fully paid on a monthly basis, who fall under the chief directorate that I'm responsible for. So that's one thing that we have. We may not have money in this province, but we have invested in what a sport person needs. So to now get to our sponsor and stakeholder, Mr. Jean Riri. Okay. Because it's like they're repeating you. Because I'm like, I don't remember you speaking after that Matobako. Program people. I may not be a teacher too, so Dalsy, you can't say. That Edward Saunderson. I went to school with Ruth Saunderson, the president of Goalball. Oh, she's no longer the president. Really? I went to university with her. We studied human science together at the University of Western Cape. So that day, Edward Saunderson, I did not know that you have a funny side. Okay. Because you always walk into my office. So today I saw a different side and this on this. Apologies. Because I know I'm always called Tlhakudi. We have a Tlhakudi who is a gentleman in the department or directly within your community sport in Thamae. Even yesterday when we were all coffee fontaine, these are people who found me in this department, guys. When they stand up and try to introduce me, they say Meta. And I'm like, for the life of me, I will not be called married to that Tlhakudi. Married to that Tlhakudi and he's spinning in his grave, my late husband. I'm going to look at that young man. Imagine they say me married to that Tlhakudi. I will show you that the Tlhakudi coach for them to realize. That was what I like to do, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to say that Edward, thank you for making the night interesting. I think if we had to give anybody an award tonight, it goes to you. Our young person, and I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, because of how he presented, you remember why you are here. You remember what the Free State Sport Confederation are all about, and you remember the true Volvos. they are coming all while you'll be signing up for insurance. You see, those of us who listen, we have. So that is how it, so the two Volvos are not sure they are coming because Volvo is there. So those things are coming. So really thank you for making this night worthwhile. I think I wouldn't have had such a wonderful evening if I had stayed in my bed tonight. So thank you. And you have re-energized me and what we are all about. So thank you for taking us through the presentation. And I would like to also thank everyone who is sitting in this room. Our athletes, they are the most important people. They are the reason why we do this. And we would want to see every child in this country get to their level. Sport, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just what you play for fun. It's a profession. Sport is something that you can study like I did. You study human science, you do your honors, you do your masters, and you are able, and what is said that we were even talking about is that it's actually a dying career. When you look at most universities, they've stopped doing the sport management courses. But also, in this house, we need you to resuscitate and maintain the facilities that we have. You know, the maintenance that goes into maintaining various sporting facilities that we have in the province. For a swimming athlete in winter, you know the degrees that can be in this province. Imagine a child in Bethlehem. If there's no heated pool, you will never be able to get an athlete that can swim and be able to compete and, train, be ready to go and participate, in different international competitions. Isn't it that they very? So we need you to also look into that when you engage with the Confederation, to also ask in terms of facilities where you will be able to still brand and, to be able to have your name and to make a difference in a child's life. I normally make an example about few athletes. Your Serena Williams. Serena Williams was not made by anything else, by her dad and a racket. Most of us in our lifetime will never make the money that she has made. She's got sponsors, she's got managers. They have changed their whole livelihood, including her sister Venus. I'm not able, it's Mbappe. Anyway, that young man, you all know 7 days a week, how much does she earn? It's 19 million pounds. 7 days a week. Every week in a year, he earns 19 million pounds. So what does that tell us? That we can change and level the playing field. We have those people in our country. We have them in this province, but they need all of us. And for us as a department, without you, the Confederation will not go where it's supposed to go and make a difference in a child's life. We need you. They need all of us. So thank you to everyone, because I don't know if there's anybody else after me who still do. Thank you. I would like to also thank for the food that we are eating. I'm sure it was very nice. You ate the chicken. It looked delicious. Thank you for the wine and everything else. To everybody else who's been here from all the corners, we thank you that you took this time on a Friday evening to come and be here for sport. So let sport be the winner. I thank you.
Today I want to be a day to give the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My finest day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every game. It's the sweet, it's the pain. I rise and fall, yet through it all, this must remain. Always in time, when I thought it could be, and I speed away.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly where the Sports Confederation is right now. On that note, we'll ask in the middle row, starting from the first table, to go and have your well-awaited dinner for the evening. Then we'll have the table right next to them, and then let's see whether the athletes at the back can run faster than you guys to the table, and then immediately I'll talk to some of the business people to honor their commitment.